Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, Life with Lo, for those of you that are new. And if you are back, welcome back. In today's video, I wanted to share with you guys some tips for how to keep your locks moisturized and prevent them from being so dry, especially like for times like this, like during the winter. This is from your virtual loctician. I am a loctician, so I hear issues that people have all the time. I'm hearing what they're going through, and I'm constantly offering different types of advice, whatever might cater to that client. So I'm going to go ahead and share those tips and tricks with you guys today. So, moving forward with your lock journey, you don't have to suffer with dry locks no more. Okay, so if you're interested, definitely continue watching and let's get right into it. Alright guys, so the first thing we'll do is go over reasons why your locks are dry, brittle, and are not well moisturized or hydrated. First reason being is you don't put nothing in your hair. You don't put nothing on your hair. So the first issue you may have is that you're not doing anything at all. Like, you're not doing anything to moisturize your hair. You're not doing anything to condition it. And you're not doing it regularly. You do it once and you think that was good enough for the whole month or something like that. But one of the issues some of my clients have is, with their hair being dry, I'll ask them, well, how often are you moisturizing? How often are you applying some type of moisture treatment to your hair? And they say, I don't really do anything. And I'll be like, that didn't take long. So first reason being is that you're not doing anything to moisturize. So what I would recommend to moisturize and keep your hair moisturized and hydrated, if that is your issue, is applying like a leave-in liquid conditioner or moisturizer. So good things to suggest would be like rose water is really good, coconut aloe juice, aloe vera water or juice, as long as it's not the like the kind that you eat or drink. That would be fine. You just got to keep it hydrated. But I meant refrigerated. That's what I meant to say. But you got to keep it in the fridge. But you can put that in your hair. You can put that in your hair, like the aloe vera water. But rose water is a really good for hydration, and then sealing it in with an oil. So rose water is good for hydration. I offer my rose water conditioning mist. It'll be available at my website. I'll leave a link below in the description, and you can top your hydration off with an oil that will seal in the moisture and it will last longer. A good sealant type of oil would be like a product with like vitamin E or Jamaican black castor oil, because Jamaican black castor oil is a natural humectant, so it absorbs moisture into your hair and locks it into your hair. So being that you just moisturized and you just added like your rose water and you go on top of it with like a sealant oil, that'll really retain the moisture in your hair, so it's not dry all the time, and then it's not brittle. You want it to be flexible, light, fluffy, airy. Like, you don't want it to feel like it's going to, break, or like it's so dry you could start a fire on it or something. That's not good. That's not normal. It don't have to be like that. So definitely what you're putting into your hair and how often. I recommend doing like a moisture treatment 2 to 3 times a week is suffice. Spraying your hair down, putting your oil on your scalp, putting some in your hands and rubbing it onto your locks is a good method. And then I also offer a hot oil treatment, coconut and lavender hot oil treatment. And this also has vegetable glycerin, which is another humectant, so it's good for absorbing moisture. But you can spray this on your locks after maybe after you wash it, or after a detox and you just cleansed your hair really well. You can do that same treatment and then go on top of it with a hot oil treatment. And you really only need to do this you could do it once a month every time you wash, or you could just do it maybe every other time, and this would apply a lot of nutrients and moisture back into your locks. Okay, again, the products will be available at my website in the link below. So moving forward, another reason that is quite common for why your locks may not be hydrated, moisturized, they're feeling really brittle, and it may also be why your scalp is really dry and itchy and irritated. Maybe you have dandruff or just a lot of irritation up there. Another reason could be because you're not staying hydrated yourself. Like, you're not drinking enough water. So like, I may ask my clients like, well, do you drink a lot of water? Do you drink water every day? And I mean water. I don't mean juice, and I don't mean everything else in the book. I mean water. Just drink straight water, at least a bottle a day. At the bare minimum, a bottle a day. But they will be like, no, they're not drinking water regularly, which, you know, we're all victim to it. We do it. But, you know, I'm just saying it really can contribute to why your scalp and your locks are dry. And I will say, in my opinion, it's like, you know, when you grow in a plant, right, and you gotta water the soil because the roots are in the soil, and that will feed the leaves and the actual plant itself. It's really the same, y'all, with when it comes to your hair. It's the same idea, the same concept. So make sure you're putting the water and the hydration into the body so that from the inside it's getting hydration and it's leading to the rest of the hair. Now, do keep in mind, this is just a little extra tip, but do keep in mind the ends of our hair does contain a lot of dead hair, which is like hair that has been broken off, so they're no longer connected to our root, which is why we separately hydrate, because, you know, from our root, it's not going to feed all of it, because not all of it is still attached to our head. So keep that in mind. All right, so another reason number 3, is that you're inconsistent with your maintenance routines. So, meaning you may not wash your hair regularly. That's keeping moisture out of your hair. You may not get your hair maintenance or have like your weekly routine set in place. You may not be doing that at all. So that is really important, because being on a routine is important for your hair, because your hair knows your routine. So I don't know about y'all, but say you wash your hair every 4 weeks like I do, right? Every 4 weeks, around the middle of the 3rd week, your hair be like, ooh, we finna get washed, because it start acting up, right? It's dry, it's itchy, it's just giving you like, okay sis, don't forget about us, we're coming up, it's about that time for our wash. Your hair knows when it's gonna get maintenance. So if you're inconsistent, it's gonna show your hair. Your hair gonna be like, bruh, we dry, our scalp is dirty, you ain't wash us, you not on no consistent routine, or you fell off of a consistent routine, and we finna let you know. We definitely gonna let you know. So make sure if you're wanting to resolve that issue of dry, brittle locks, itchy, irritated scalp, this, that, and the third, if you want to resolve that issue, you need to stick to a routine. Like, you don't have to retwist it every single time you wash your hair. Now, if you in the beginning stages, like you in the start of lock season, like in your 6 months, I highly suggest you retwist your hair every time you wash it, and just don't be washing it a whole lot, because you want them to lock up, you don't want them coming out, and I know that could be a hassle. You don't want to over twist, over retwist, and things like that. So maybe you could wash, if you're like in need, maybe you could wash every 2 weeks and do like a light retwist, or maybe you could do every 4 weeks, which is better. But if you could do every 4 weeks where you wash it and do a retwist, if you're in the beginning stages, that would be great. But some schedules that I recommend is, you know, the 2 week or the 4 week is most common for most people. That's like more suitable. You could do like a 6 weeks. Every 6 weeks you wash and retwist, or sometimes people do 8 weeks. I would not recommend anybody go longer than 8 weeks. I wouldn't recommend you go longer than two months without washing, because one, you're gonna have it may not be that you have a product buildup issue, but you're gonna have a dead skin cell buildup issue. So some of that buildup be just dead skin cells just built up in your hair. It could be looking dusty, it could be looking dry. You need to cleanse your hair, you need to clean it so it can receive new nutrients. You have to wash away your dirt. Don't let it go so long without cleansing your hair. And you don't want it to stink, you don't want it to be dry and brittle, and just, it's not working in your favor if you go in too long without washing your hair. Should not be more than 8 weeks. Okay? So that's that. Another routine that you can implement when it comes to hydration and cleansing is detoxes. So doing a detox on your locks, like I recommend you do a detox at least once a year. Some people might even like to do it twice a year, but a detox gives your locks, gives your hair the opportunity to get rid of all the impurities and all the dirt or anything that builds up that might still be in your locks after regular washes. They still could be sitting in your locks, right? And it'll break all that dirt down and really get it out, and it give it the opportunity to receive a whole new set of nutrients and oils and, like, you know, vitamins and things like that that you need for your hair. It's able to receive that better because it doesn't have such a blockage and a buildup. So it's like a clean slate. It's like starting over. So I definitely recommend that, and that's why I recommend doing a hot oil treatment after the detoxes, because like it really strips your hair, which is great. It strips your hair of everything though, right? So you can go back in and, you know, rehydrate, re-moisturize, and condition with your good nutrients. Okay, so that was like a couple of do's and don'ts when it comes to what you should be doing, what you shouldn't be doing with your moisturization routines, and products you should be using and should not be using. Well, I'm not sure if I mentioned this earlier. I forgot already, but make sure you are not using products that contain alcohol, beeswax, things of that nature, because it's very drying to your locks. It can dry your locks out, and that is obviously not good, because the products we use often stay in our hair until it's time to wash it. So, excuse me, like your retwist gel, my bad, y'all. Your retwist gel, your maybe like your oil sheen or like a hairspray or something like that. Make sure it does not have any like alcohol in it or anything like that, because, or beeswax, because that's very drying to the hair. It will just, it dries your hair out. Like it's not good. So make sure you're not using anything like that. Go ahead and get rid of it and replace it. A retwist gel that I use and recommend is called My Gel by, is it called My Gel? Yeah, it's called My Gel by Joey Naturals. You can get it in some hair stores, but it's definitely available online on Amazon. They be having it. And that washes out so good. You will like not have a buildup issue with that gel. I love it. So that one, and then you can just do like oil sheens that come out of a spray bottle. Maybe not necessarily like the spray one, because they have alcohol in it and stuff like that. But yeah, so keep that in mind. The type of shampoo that you should be using. A lot of people don't pay attention to the type of shampoo they're using for their hair, for their locks, but you should be, if you're going to use one shampoo, I recommend using a moisture retention type of shampoo. It should say like it's for moisturizing or deep conditioning shampoo. But if you're using a cleansing shampoo, then use both. Use the cleansing shampoo first and then finish with your moisture retention shampoo. Okay, because the cleansing will, you know, really strip the hair as well. And if you want it to be like really conditioned and hydrated, you're gonna either need to put that back in there. Make sure you're putting it back in there after your wash with your moisture or conditioning treatment, like your rose water or your hot oil treatment. But if not, if you're not doing that every time, then make sure you're using a cleansing shampoo first, followed by your moisture retention shampoo. Okay. Oh, and the last thing I want to mention when it comes to keeping your locks hydrated is, drum roll please, if you have ever color treated your hair at any point in time, there's a list of things you need to know. So first of all, if you are over coloring your hair, like you colored it more than 2 times, it's too much. But if you are coloring your hair, and I mean with chemicals, when I say coloring, I mean with the use of chemicals. So bleach and what's it called? Bleach and developer. So if you're using too much of that in your hair, you're drying your hair out like crazy, and it's so hard to recover. Your moisturization routine, your conditioning routine have to be strong, and you have to be consistent, because you have to keep replenishing your hair with moisture, because it is so stripped. It is so bare. It is so stripped with all those chemicals. So if you have not colored already and you would like to color, or you're thinking about coloring, please do a lot of research and take your time with that, because I would only recommend coloring your hair one time when it comes with locks. By that I mean lifting your hair to a brighter color one time. You have one time to do that in a safe way. So when you're going to like rainbow like colors and you're trying to do blue, purple, red, green, and all of that, don't keep switching from one color to the next, because that requires more chemicals, and that is just breaking your hair down. It's drying it out, and I'm quite confident it will lead to breaking your hair off. So it will definitely thin it out a whole lot too. So refrain from over coloring your hair, using too much chemicals in your hair, because you are constantly stripping your hair of nutrients, and just you are constantly stripping it of its integrity, and you're weakening the hair shaft entirely. Like, it's so delicate and fragile after so many coloring sessions. So refrain from doing that. Just color it one time, and find out what you're going to do with it afterwards, after you get tired of that color, in a safe and effective way. Okay, so that is definitely leading to your dryness. Now, if you're already colored, some routines you have to do, I would recommend doing a hot oil treatment after every color session. Like after you've washed it, and you have to do a hot oil treatment like every time, because it's already naturally stripped. It's going to need more than just a regular treatment. You're going to need to like really hydrate and really put the good nutrients back into your hair. I would say do that after every wash, and make sure when you're washing you're using color safe shampoo. That is another very important thing, is using color safe shampoo. That is all I have for you guys today. I hope that was super helpful and super beneficial. You guys really got to get honest with yourselves. Make sure, if you really care about the wellness of your locks and the health of your locks and your journey, that you're really implementing these tips, and you're refraining from doing some of the things I suggested that you do not do. Okay, so that will result in a healthy journey, a long journey, a prosperous journey when it comes to your natural hair and your locks. So I hope it helped. Thank you guys so much for watching. Can't wait to see you in the next video. And you guys, don't forget to like this video if you liked it, and leave comments. Let me know what you thought, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video of Life with Lo.